Mr. Ambassador, thank you for inviting us to your office. What are the key sectors where Belgium sees the most potential for growth in trade and investment with Indonesia?
I think in the new technologies. Belgium is a highly developed economy where we shift more and more from industry to services and high-tech solutions for today's problems. So everything with the green technology, the energy transfer, AI, all these elements, medical sector also with modern day vaccines. Yeah, I think if you see also our export towards Indonesia is a lot with machinery
and
chemicals, which we have the biggest chemical sector of all Europe is for today in Belgium, in the port of Antwerp. As I said, we like to use them also for the transfer of energy, transfer of green technology, everything that has to do with modern technology in AI, in other sectors. Those specific things we really like to work on with Indonesia. A small economy like ours compared to the rest of the world, we are a small country, we have 11.5 million people, but we have a very highly developed sectors that we believe will shape the future. I'd like to share our experience because we are convinced that today's problems of the world can only be solved with new technology, and we would like to work on that with Indonesia.
Is there any projects that maybe you can share to the viewers between Belgium and Indonesia regarding transfer of technology like AI?
Belgium is not anymore a country where we have big multinational companies. We are a country of small and medium enterprises that are working in niche sectors. For example, there's a new company called Odoo, which is developed here in Jakarta. A year ago, they were not here. Today already they employ hundreds of people. And they provide, for example, technology for bookkeeping and management for mini companies here in Indonesia who cannot afford, for example, to buy technology from the big players. They provide the technology for them to manage their whole administrative system for an extremely low cost. We are talking here a few thousand rupiah a month. It's a very beautiful example of how a high developed company can help a country that is building up like Indonesia.
According to the abhs.belgia website, Indonesia is the 55th client and 39th supplier for the Kingdom of Belgium, with footwear and headgear taking the biggest share of imports for Belgium. It's around 36.1%, if I'm not mistaken. What can you tell us about these particular manufactured products and what needs to be improved?
Yeah, you have to understand the European system a little bit. So we are in one market, but the port of Antwerp is the second biggest port in Europe for the moment after the Netherlands. So we import, every country has its own specifics. For example, for palm oil, we see that goes to other ports. Our port is not very much equipped in that. But from Indonesia, indeed, we import enormous amounts of mainly sport articles, both the headgear and the sport shoes. And that has to do that the major players in the world, like Nike and others, they have their distribution centers for the whole of Europe, and even larger than that, also the Middle East and parts of Africa. They have it set up in Belgium. So Indonesia, a big producer of these companies, millions of people are working in this sector. And the first client of this is Belgium. This doesn't mean that Belgians all have like 100 pairs of sport shoes in their car. As I said, the distribution centers are in Belgium. So, and from there they are being sent all over within the one market principle out of the European Union, but as I said, also to the Middle East and Africa. So we are very happy to do so because Belgium, we see it as a logistic hub in Europe because of our specific place on the European map. We are really one of the big entry ports for goods from outside towards the whole European market. But if you see within the European Union, for example, Belgium is not one of the biggest economies in the European Union, but with Indonesia, we are the 5th partner within the European Union. Would we like to see that grow? Yes. Of course, we will never match countries like Germany, that is 8 times bigger than my country. We can never reach their figures. But per capita, we are really doing very well. And we are really top ranking in Europe in our trade with Indonesia.